No big announcements. There is no countdown. There are not even words that sound excessive. But precisely because of that, Jungkook's message this time hit much deeper. In the silence that had long enveloped him, a simple message appeared and instantly made the army around the world unable to hold back tears. Not because of sadness alone, but because of the emotional honesty that feels so real, so human, and so close. For a while, Jungkook looked different. He is calmer, more restrained, and far from the image of the cheerful magne that the public has known so far. Many fans were aware of the change, but chose to remain silent and respect the space he seemed to be guarding. Until finally the message came. Not long, not dramatic, but full of meaning. Each of his sentences feels like the result of a long process, a process of thinking, reflecting, and perhaps also fighting with himself. Army quickly caught on to one common thread. Jungkook was not speaking as a world star, but as a human being who wanted to be honest. His message does not contain empty promises or corny words of consolation. Instead, it talks about feelings, about time, about wanting to stay connected despite not always being physically or vocally present. The sentences felt like a slow hug, not shaking, but warming. Many fans admitted that they cried not because Jungkook looked weak, but because of his courage to show that fragile side. In an industry that often demands idols to always be strong, always smiling, and always just fine, Jungkook's message feels like an honest admission that not all days have to be perfect. That silence does not mean leaving. That distance does not mean forgetting. The army's reaction flooded the timeline in a matter of minutes. From Korea, Japan, Indonesia, to Latin America, messages of support appear in an almost uniform tone. Thank you for being honest. Thank you for thinking about us anyway. And what comes up most often, it's okay, we'll wait. Many said that Jungkook's message felt like an answer to the anxiety they had been harboring themselves, without ever daring to ask him directly. What makes this moment even more emotional is the context around it. Jungkook is not on the cusp of a big promotion. No grandiose stage or camera highlights. The message comes amid a silent phase, one in which the public is used to speculating, guessing, and often demanding explanations. But Jungkook chose a different path. He did not explain everything, but he made sure of one thing. His feelings for the army did not change. For many longtime fans, this message is reminiscent of Jungkook in the early days of debut, sincere, awkward, and full of gratitude. But this time, his sincerity was wrapped in maturity born of long experience. There is implied fatigue, there is prudence in choosing words, and there is a full awareness that each of his sentences will be read by heart by millions of people. Not a few army who claimed the message came at the right time, but painful. Exactly, because they were indeed waiting for a sign. It was painful because they could feel the emotional weight behind Jungkook's words. It is not a burden that asks to be pitted, but rather a burden of responsibility, as an artist, as an individual, and as someone who grew up under the spotlight from a very young age. Interestingly, Jungkook didn't ask for anything explicitly. He does not ask for understanding, does not ask for time, and does not ask to be waited for. But that's precisely why the army feels like doing everything voluntarily. The message created a quiet but strong emotional bond, as if there was an unspoken agreement between Jungkook and his fans. Amid the rush of fast content streams and instant sensations, this moment feels rare. There is no artificial drama. There is no forced narrative. Only one message, one feeling, and millions of hearts are connected. Many fans cite this as the reason they have survived through the years, not just because of the music or the achievements, but because of the emotional honesty that continues to be maintained. Until now, Jungkook again chose silence after the message. But this time, the silence felt different. It no longer causes excessive anxiety, but rather a strange sense of calm. ARMY knows that not everything needs to be explained now. There are processes in progress, there is time that is being demanded indirectly, and there is trust that is being kept together. Jungkook's message may be drowned out by other news in the next few days. But for the ARMY, those words will stay much longer. He will be remembered as one of those moments in which tears fell not so much because of parting, but because of emotional closeness that is too deep to express in ordinary words. And perhaps That's where Jungkook's real strength lies. Not just in his voice or stage, but in his ability to touch hearts without the need to scream. With one honest message, he reminded the world that behind the big names and the global spotlight, there is someone who is still learning, still feeling, and still connecting with the ARMY, with himself, and with an unfinished journey. As time passed after the message was published, one thing became increasingly clear. Jungkook was not only conveying feelings, but was also building a more mature emotional bridge with ARMY. There is no tone of despair, no parting words, yet there is a depth that makes many stop for a moment and reread each sentence. The message feels like a reflection of someone who has come a long way, then looks back to make sure that those he cares about are still there. Many ARMY began to realize that during this time, Jungkook grew up before their eyes. From shy teenagers to global artists standing at the top of the world music industry. But the growth was not always smooth. There are phases of fatigue, confusion, and pressure that are not visible to the camera. Jungkook's message this time seemed to be a silent acknowledgement that all great journeys always have a dark side that is rarely talked about. In various fan communities, the discussion changed direction. It's no longer about schedule speculation, projects, or rumors, except for empathy, about how to love an idol without demanding constant presence, about learning to wait without anxiety. Many soldiers wrote that for the first time, they felt no need for quick answers. Just knowing that Jungkook was okay was more than enough. What was most touching was how the message felt so personal, as if Jungkook was speaking directly to each individual. There is no distance between idols and fans. No stage, no spotlight. Only one inner voice meets millions of other hearts that have been faithfully listening. That's what tears just fall. No drama, no excessive sadness, just a warm feeling that is difficult to explain. Some soldiers even called Jungkook's message a gentle reminder that they too can be tired. That if someone as strong as Jungkook alone can admit his indecision and desire to walk slowly, then there is nothing wrong with feeling fragile. In his silence, Jungkook actually gives people the power they don't realize they need. In the midst of a fast-moving entertainment world, this moment is a pause. Pause to breathe. Pause to reflect. Pause to realize that the relationship between Jungkook and ARMY has gone beyond mere fan and idol concepts. It has turned into an emotional relationship built on trust, patience, and mutual respect. Interestingly, not a single word in Jungkook's message is dramatic or exaggerated. But it is precisely that simplicity that makes it feel heavy in the heart. Each sentence seemed to be carefully composed, as if he was really thinking about how ARMY felt when he read it. There's an emotional responsibility there, something not all artists have or are aware of. Now that the tears had dried, all that remained was a sense of calm that slowly grew. ARMY no longer asks when Jungkook will return fully to the spotlight. No longer demand instant presence. There is only a sincere hope that he'll be given time to be himself, without pressure, without too heavy expectations. Jungkook's message will live on in fans' memories. It will be quoted, shared, and maybe someday reread with a different feeling. But the meaning will remain the same, that behind all the great achievements, Jungkook is a man who dares to be honest about his feelings. And that courage for the ARMY is a far more valuable gift than anything else. In the end, this moment is not about tears falling, but rather about bonds getting stronger. A bond that is not shaken by distance, time, or silence. Jungkook has spoken, not out loud, but with honesty. And ARMY, with an open heart, chose to listen.